Have you ever felt like you don't belong wholly in the light or the dark? Like you're walking some invisible line between heaven and hell, not because you're lost, but because you were born for the bridge? If so, this video isn't just for you, it's about you. You see, we've been taught to see the world in binaries, good and evil, angel and demon, light and shadow. But what if the truth is more complex, more layered, more divine than we've ever dared to imagine? What if some of us are here to hold both frequencies, the angelic and the demonic, not as a curse, not as confusion, but as a sacred assignment? What if you carry codes from opposite realms because your soul was forged in paradox? And what if the very thing religion warned you against is the exact thing you came here to embody, with wisdom, with power, with purpose? The first sign that you resonate with both angel and demon vibrations is this: you feel split, but not broken. There's a fire in you that wants to burn down illusions, a light in you that wants to heal everything it touches, and they both exist at the same time. One moment you're channeling compassion, patience, grace. The next, you're filled with a raging clarity that cuts through lies like a sword. You feel like a paradox walking, and others sense it. They see the softness in your eyes and the storm behind them. You don't fit into the boxes of good or bad, you break them, and that makes people uncomfortable. But discomfort isn't a flaw, it's a signal. It means you're touching something real, something raw, something they've been trained to avoid. The second sign is that you're deeply misunderstood, even by yourself. You might find yourself asking questions like, why do I feel holy and dangerous at the same time? Or why can I bring peace and chaos in the same breath? This isn't contradiction. This is spiritual range. Angels heal, demons challenge. Angels comfort, demons awaken. And you, dear soul, carry both tool sets in your energy field. That's why some people are magnetized to you, while others are repelled. You don't just reflect what people want to see, you reflect what they're not ready to face. And sometimes that includes your own reflection, too. You'll have moments where you question your own goodness, where you doubt your own light. But let me ask you this: what if your darkness isn't a defect, but a design? The third sign is that you've always been a mirror. People project onto you constantly. Some see you as a savior, others see you as a threat, and both are right in their own way. You reflect what's hidden. You amplify what's suppressed. You don't even have to try, your presence activates. And this is why you've had to learn boundaries the hard way. Because when you carry both angel and demon frequencies, people want to either worship you or destroy you. They sense your power but don't know how to name it. And sometimes neither do you. But you're not here to be named. You're here to be felt. You're here to be experienced. You're here to be a doorway, not a destination. And that means you'll never be fully understood. But that's not your burden. That's your purpose. The fourth sign is that your emotions are not normal. They're cosmic. When you feel joy, it's like the gates of heaven open. When you feel rage, it's like a forgotten God awakens inside you. You cry not just for yourself, but for the collective. You rage not just for your own pain, but for the injustice you feel in your bones. You're not too emotional. You're multidimensional. You are a vessel for frequencies that this world hasn't learned to hold yet. And so they label you sensitive, intense, unstable. But they don't understand you are feeling the architecture of reality. You are processing not just your life, but timelines, ancestors, archetypes. Your body is a sacred instrument of transmutation. And that's why you can't afford to numb yourself. Because your feelings aren't weakness, they're weapons of awakening. The fifth sign is that you've always felt called to the forbidden. Not because you're lost, but because you remember. There's something about the occult, the mystical, the hidden that doesn't scare you, it calls to you. And not in a reckless way, but in a soul-deep way. The angel in you seeks truth. The demon in you seeks freedom. And together, they guide you to the places most people are afraid to look. You don't worship darkness, you understand it. You don't fear angels, but you know they're not all light and fluffy. You see beyond appearances. You feel the essence. That's why you can walk into a so-called holy space and feel the corruption behind the rituals. And you can walk into a so-called dark space and feel the wisdom hiding in the shadows. You are not fooled by labels. You are tuned to truth. The sixth sign is that people come to you for transformation, not comfort. Whether you realize it or not, you're a spiritual catalyst. Your words, your energy, your silence, they move people. Sometimes into healing, sometimes into chaos, but always into truth. You don't do small talk well. You want to get to the root. You want to touch the soul. And even when you try to hide it, people feel you. They confess things they've never told anyone. They cry without knowing why. They get triggered by your presence. You are not a smooth experience. You are a sacred disruption. And the world needs that. Because comfort doesn't cause change. But your presence, it initiates people. And that's why you must learn to wield your energy with intention. Not to shrink it, but to master it. The seventh and final sign is this. You've had to die many times to become who you are. Ego deaths, identity deaths, old life burning to ash again and again. You've been through initiations that no one saw. You've walked through nights so dark, you forgot what the sun felt like. And yet here you are. Not perfect, not polished, but awake. You carry scars that angels respect and demons recognize. And that's why you can hold space for others in ways no one else can. You've lived 1,000 lifetimes in this one body. You've tasted the divine and the damned. And now, you're being called to embody both with grace. You are not here to pick sides. You are here to transcend polarity, to become something new, something ancient, something whole. So I ask you this, what would happen if you stopped apologizing for your range? What would happen if you stopped trying to fit into the mold of pure light or dark rebel and said, yes, I am both. And I am sacred in my paradox? Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more angels. It doesn't need more demons. It needs bridges. And you, my friend, are the bridge. how to live as both light and shadow without losing yourself. To live as both light and shadow is not a spiritual aesthetic, it's a soul contract. It's a path that demands more from you than most will ever understand. Because when you carry both angelic and demonic frequencies, you are constantly navigating a tension between destruction and creation, between order and chaos, between healing and awakening. And if you don't know how to hold that tension consciously, it can tear you apart. But if you do learn to hold it with breath, with presence, with fierce self-awareness, you become something the world has almost forgotten, a living embodiment of wholeness. Not perfection, not purity, wholeness. The kind that holds paradox without needing to resolve it. That's what makes you rare. That's what makes you timeless. Let's start with something most won't admit. You've probably tried to shut one side of yourself down. Maybe you tried to be only light, kind, gentle, always forgiving. But it left you drained, resentful, invisible. Or maybe you tried to be only shadow cutting, fierce, raw power. But it disconnected you from your empathy, your softness, your open heart. Neither extreme worked, because they were both incomplete. You are not meant to be half of yourself. You are not meant to amputate your own soul just to fit into someone's idea of spiritual. You are meant to integrate. And integration is not about balance, it's about embodiment. It's about knowing when to lead with light and when to lead with fire. When to speak like an angel and when to roar like a demon. And most importantly, when to be silent and simply hold the field. One of the first steps toward this embodiment is radical self-honesty. You must be willing to look at yourself without filters. Where do you still perform goodness to be accepted? Where do you hide your light out of fear of being seen? Where are you still weaponizing your pain to protect yourself from intimacy? These are not flaws. These are maps. They show you where your angel and demon are still at war. And your job is not to pick a side. Your job is to mediate, to listen to both, to understand their fears, their strategies, their gifts. Your angel wants to protect your integrity. Your demon wants to protect your sovereignty. Both are sacred. But when they're fighting inside you, your energy fractures. Your life becomes dissonant. But when they trust each other, when they collaborate, that's when you become dangerous to systems built on division. You must also learn to move energy, not just think about it. The integration of these frequencies cannot happen in the mind alone. It must happen in the body, in your breath, in your nervous system, because these polarities live in your cells. When you suppress one side of yourself for too long, it doesn't disappear, it mutates. It shows up as anxiety, illness, burnout, numbness. Your body becomes a battlefield. That's why practices like primal movement, breathwork, voice activation, and even sacred rage rituals are essential. Not as trendy tools, but as technologies of integration. You are not here to bypass your fire. You are here to dance with it. You are not here to escape into light. You are here to radiate it through shadow. And that only happens when you give your body permission to feel everything it's been holding. Relationships become initiations on this path. Because when you carry both angel and demon codes, you will attract people who want to either tame you or worship you. They won't know what to do with your depth. Some will fall in love with your light, then run from your shadow. Others will be intoxicated by your power, then try to control it. And you must be vigilant. Because if you're not anchored in your own truth, you'll start to fragment again. You'll perform for love. You'll suppress for peace. You'll betray your wholeness to keep the connection. But you didn't come here for shallow love. You came here to model sacred union within yourself first, and then with others. You came here to show what it looks like when divine feminine and sacred rage coexist in one body. When softness and sovereignty walk hand in hand. That's what your relationships are meant to reflect, not comfort, but consciousness. You'll also have to redefine your relationship with spirituality. Because the mainstream spiritual world doesn't know what to do with someone like you. It's obsessed with high vibes, angel numbers, and love and light mantras. But where's the space for shadow work that isn't a trend? Where's the space for sacred rebellion? For inner darkness that isn't labeled low vibration? You've probably felt alienated in spiritual spaces. Too intense, too skeptical, too real. That's because you're not here to fit into spirituality, you're here to evolve it. You're here to bring back the mystery, the fire, the wildness. You're here to remind people that angels can bleed and demons can love. That God is not light or dark, God is all. And so are you. And here's the most practical truth of all. You need ritual, not performance, not perfection. Devotion. You need daily practices that let both your angel and demon speak. Journaling that holds your pain without trying to fix it. Movement that lets your body rage and release. Stillness that lets your soul whisper. Ritual is how you stay rooted in a world that wants you divided. It's how you remember who you are when the noise gets loud. You don't need anyone else's blueprint. You need your own. One that honors your duality. One that doesn't ask you to choose. One that lets you show up raw, messy, divine, and whole. Because that's when you stop surviving as a contradiction and start thriving as a convergence. So I ask you again, what would happen if you stopped trying to be understood and started letting yourself be felt? What would happen if you stopped explaining your paradox and started embodying your presence? Because the moment you do, you step into your true purpose. Not to be light, not to be dark, but to be the threshold where they meet. And that threshold? That's where miracles happen. That's where timelines shift. That's where souls awaken. You are not too much. You are not confused. You are not broken. You are the bridge, and the world is starving for what you carry. You are the temple, how to channel divine and infernal energy without losing your humanity. The moment you realize that you are the temple, everything changes. You stop searching for sacredness outside yourself. You stop waiting for some external validation to awaken your power. You remember that your body, your breath, your being, they were always the altar. And if you carry both angelic and demonic frequencies, this truth is even more essential. Why? because you are not a visitor to the realms of light and shadow. You are a host. You are the vessel through which these primal forces express themselves in human form. And the only way to channel them without losing yourself is to honor your humanity as the anchor point. You are not just a spiritual being having a human experience. You are a multidimensional being learning to stay grounded while holding the divine fire. To be a temple means you must become sacred space. And sacred space is not always peaceful, it's honest. It's raw. It's alive. Sometimes it's radiant and angelic. Sometimes it's volcanic and demonic. But it's always real. And that's what you must give yourself permission to be. You are not here to play a character. You are here to be a frequency holder for the full spectrum of what it means to be awake, alive, and embodied. That means your job is not to control these energies, but to contain them. To create a container strong enough to hold the rage without becoming reckless, to hold the compassion without becoming codependent. This is spiritual maturity, and it doesn't come from reading books or quoting scriptures. It comes from living inside the fire until you become flame and still remember how to love. Most people fear their own power because they've never been taught how to hold it. Especially those who resonate with both angel and demon vibrations. You've probably felt it, that surge of energy in your chest, in your hands, in your voice when something deep moves through you. And maybe you've been told to suppress it, or to calm down, to be nice. But that suppression eventually becomes illness, emotional, spiritual, or physical. Because that power isn't meant to be silenced, it's meant to be channeled. And to channel it, you must learn the art of self-containment. Not numbing, not leaking, containment. The ability to feel the full force of your own energy and root it into the earth through your body. Not to explode, not to implode, but to embody. One of the most powerful tools for containment is ritual movement. Not fitness, not exercise. Movement as prayer, as invocation, as alchemy. Let your body speak what your mouth can't. Let your breath become a rhythm that your nervous system can trust. Dance until your demon feels loved. Stretch until your angel feels safe. Shake until the trauma leaves your bones. You don't need to know the choreography. Your body already remembers. It's been holding lifetimes of spiritual memory. Let it move. Let it initiate you. Because when your body becomes a temple, your spirit can finally rest inside it. That's when the channel opens. But channeling is not just a mystical act. It's a practical responsibility. If you walk through the world carrying deep spiritual codes, you must also walk with deep energetic hygiene. That means knowing when you're picking up energy that isn't yours. That means recognizing when your demon is being triggered by someone else's shadow. That means noticing when your angel is overextending to save someone who doesn't want to be saved. Being a channel means you are sensitive by design. And sensitivity is a superpower when paired with discernment. So check in with yourself often. Clear your field. Breathe, ask, is this mine? Or am I absorbing someone else's chaos? Because the more energy you channel, the more sacred your boundaries must become. You also need to understand that being a channel doesn't mean being passive. You're not just a vessel, you're a co-creator. The angel and demon energies moving through you are not here to possess you. They're here to partner with you. You are the bridge, the mediator, the human soul in the middle. And your choices matter. Your intentions matter. Your alignment matters. You don't get to blame your shadow for your cruelty. You don't get to hide behind love to avoid truth. Walking this path means taking full ownership of your energy. It means asking, what am I using this power for? Are you building or destroying? Are you healing or avoiding? Are you transmitting truth or performing it? These questions keep you honest, and honesty is the foundation of any sacred temple. Another essential piece is language. The words you speak are spells. They carry frequency. And when you resonate with both angelic and demonic vibrations, your voice carries amplified impact. You've probably already noticed this. When you speak from alignment, people listen. They feel something shift. They cry. They wake up. But when you speak from pain or ego, people get confused or defensive. That's not random. That's resonance. Your voice is a tuning fork. It pulls people into coherence or chaos. So speak with care. Speak with intention. Speak from the integrated self, not just one polarity. Let your words be bridges, not weapons. Let them carry the tone of your soul, not just your mood. Many who walk this path experience long periods of solitude. This isn't punishment, it's preparation. When you carry high-frequency energies, you need space to calibrate, time to integrate, time to hear yourself without the noise of the world. You may feel like you don't belong anywhere, like no one understands you fully. And that's because your soul is rare. You are the in-between, the threshold. And thresholds are lonely, but they are also sacred. So don't rush to fill the silence. Let it build you. Let it show you who you are when no one is watching. Because in that void, something ancient awakens. A knowing, a remembering, a reclaiming. And when you emerge, you won't need anyone to validate your power. You'll embody it. Finally, you must trust your initiation cycles. This path is not linear, it spirals. You will revisit lessons, you will relive pain, you will fall and rise and fall again. But each time you'll come back with more wisdom, more clarity, more soul. This is the nature of the temple you are. It breathes. It weathers storms. It cracks and rebuilds. And every time it rebuilds, it holds more light and more shadow simultaneously. That's your gift. You don't reject the darkness. You transmute it. You don't chase the light. You become it. And that's what the world needs now more than ever. Not spiritual perfection, but spiritual integration. Not saints, not sinners, but bridges. Living, breathing temples of paradox and power. So I ask you one final question for today. What would it mean to fully trust yourself as the vessel of both heaven and hell? And to love yourself not in spite of it, but because of it? What would your life look like if you stopped hiding your fire and stopped apologizing for your light? Because the moment you stop denying your full range, you don't just become powerful, you become free. Your power is not a problem how to walk the earth as a living embodiment of sacred duality. There comes a moment on this path, and maybe you're in it right now, where you realize your power has never been the problem. Your relationship to it has. For so long, you were told to be careful, to be quiet, to be humble, to be less. Because the world is not used to people who carry both the sword and the balm in their hands. But your power, the very thing you've been taught to mistrust, is not dangerous. It's sacred. It becomes dangerous only when it's suppressed, shamed, or misunderstood. But when it's owned, when it's held with awareness, reverence, and clarity, it becomes medicine. Not just for you, but for everyone around you. You were never too much. You were never too intense. You were exactly calibrated for the sole mission you came here to fulfill. To walk the earth carrying both angel and demon frequencies is to live as a vortex. You are constantly pulling things out of people, illusions, fears, truths they didn't know they were ready to face. You stir things just by existing. That's why you've often felt like a problem in spaces that weren't ready for truth. You weren't being difficult, you were being activating. And yes, that activation can be misunderstood. But it's not your job to manage people's reactions to your existence. It's your job to stay true to your alignment, to keep your channel clear, to walk in your essence unapologetically. Because the more you walk in truth, the more you liberate others to do the same, even if they resisted at first. Living as a sacred duality also means you've had to master the art of emotional intelligence. You feel so much, so deeply, that the average coping mechanisms never worked for you. Numbing, avoiding, pretending they only made you sick. You had to learn how to sit inside the fire of your own emotions without letting them consume you. You had to learn how to grieve without losing your joy, how to rage without burning your life to the ground, how to love without losing your center. That's not weakness. That's warrior work. That's sacred spiritual discipline. And if no one told you this before, I'm telling you now, you've done it beautifully. Even in your mess, even in your confusion, you've been weaving light and shadow into a language only the brave can understand. And yes, it's exhausting sometimes. Being the bridge means you're never fully in one world, a walk between. You translate frequencies others can't even feel yet. You hear what's not said. You see what's being hidden. You feel what's being denied. And that can be isolating. But it's also what makes you essential. Because you're not here to fit in. You're here to recode reality. You're here to bring heaven into the mundane and bring depth into the shallow. You're here to remind people that divinity is not sterile. It's wild. It's sensual. It's fierce. It's flawed. And that means you, in all your nuance and contradiction, are not just enough. You are divine design. There's a reason you've always been drawn to extremes, the highest highs, the lowest lows. It's not because you're chaotic. It's because your soul is cosmic. You came here with an expanded bandwidth to feel what others avoid, to hold what others can't. and to alchemize it into wisdom. That's why your heartbreaks have been portals. Your betrayals have been teachers. Your confusion has been a sacred initiation. Every time you broke open. Every time you surrendered, more of your true self came online. And now you're starting to realize the pain didn't ruin you, it refined you. It carved space inside you for deeper love, deeper truth, deeper presence. That's what makes you powerful. Not just what you've survived, but what you've become because of it. And now it's time to live it. Not just understand it intellectually. Not just talk about it in safe circles, but to embody it publicly. To show up in your full sacred duality, not just in spiritual spaces, but in everyday life. At your job, in your relationships, on your platforms, in your silence. Let people feel the full range of who you are. Let them feel the angel in your compassion and the demon in your boundaries. Let them feel the light in your laughter and the shadow in your gaze. Not because you need approval, but because you're done hiding. Because you are the permission others have been waiting for. And every time you show up real, you dismantle a layer of collective shame. But let's be clear, embodiment doesn't mean perfection. It means presence. It means showing up even when you're messy, even when you're still figuring it out, even when you're scared, because your power doesn't come from being flawless. It comes from being whole. From being willing to bring all of yourself to the table, not just the parts that are easy to love. And in doing so, you invite others to do the same. You create a new template for what it means to be spiritual, to be powerful, to be human. A template that includes contradiction, emotion, transformation, and truth. There's a deeper reason you resonate with both angelic and demonic vibrations, and it's not random. It's ancestral. You come from a lineage of frequency holders, soul rebels, spiritual warriors. Many of them were silenced, burned, ostracized. Some of them hid their gifts to survive. Others misused their power and carried guilt into future lives. You are the one who chose to remember. You are the one who came back to reclaim what was lost with integrity, with consciousness, with love. And as you walk this path now, you're not walking alone. They walk with you. They speak through you. Every time you speak your truth, they heal. Every time you embody your power, they rise. Every time you forgive yourself, they are released. So the final truth is this: you are not here to become something else. You are here to reveal what you already are. You are a temple, a threshold, a force of nature. You are the angel who reminds people of their innocence. You are the demon who makes them face their truth. You are the storm and the stillness, the fire and the healing, the question and the answer. And none of that is a contradiction. It's a symphony, a spiritual masterpiece in motion. And once you stop apologizing for it, once you fully own it, once you live it out loud, the world will never be the same again. So I'll leave you with this final question. What would your life look like if you remembered every single day that your duality is not your weakness, it's your weapon? That your power is not a problem, it's your path. and that your presence is not here to fit in, it's here to awaken. Because if you can answer that, you won't just walk the earth. You'll change it.